Hey everybody, welcome to It Came From GenX. We are back again. Yeah, that's right. Put it up there, Fish. We are back again here with you on the, wow, we're getting close to 50 episodes down the stretch here.
Yeah, we're getting there. Getting close. It's like 46, 47, something like that.
Okay, well,
40,
we're going to do something
40s.
when we hit 50.
Yeah,
I don't know what,
right.
but we're going to have a little party or something. So
yeah.
I'm here with Brian Fisher, our brother, our compadre,
yes.
our partner in crime, Mike Skinner, is not here with us tonight. Feeling it a little bit, and we wish him the absolute best. He is certainly going to be missed tonight, but we are going to toe the line, as we all do when one of us is not here. What's going on, Fish?
Hey, man, this is actually episode 42.
42, okay.
Yeah, so we got a couple more to go here, but yeah, and we have noticed that while we're talking about episodes and all that, we've recognized our listeners in other countries right now.
Mm-hmm.
Germany keeps moving up the list, so somebody out there in Germany, it could be one guy, I don't know.
Yeah.
But somebody out there continues to listen out there in Germany. The percentage of listens keep going up. So you're out there. Thank you for your support.
Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm doing all right, man. Good relaxing weekend. Allie's been sick, but she's getting better, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. But yeah, other than that,
That's
just chilling out, get ready for Christmas and end of year push at work and all that crap. So good to be here.
Okay, me too. Yeah, I had a very nice Friday night with Mary Beth. Had a great evening.
Good.
And was in the house the rest of the weekend, but did get to watch the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday, and that just hurt me to my heart. We are from Ohio, and I tell you, if you would have told me in summertime that the playoffs would have one team from Ohio and one team from the Big Ten, and neither of them would be Ohio State Buckeyes, I would have told you were on drugs.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy season, all right. That's for sure.
Yes, it has been. So we'll see how that plays out. But welcome to our show. This is a show is just basically to put it in a nutshell about life through the eyes of Gen Xers, and we try to educate. We try to have a lot of fun, and we try to be very upfront. We're not into politically correct. However, we are sensitive to those of us who may be different or think different or feel different or worship different or look different or whatever. But we're going to call it like it is. With that being said, Fish, tell them where they can find us.
All right. Well, you might be listening to us on WMVU.org, Global Internet Radio, Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Just pull up their app or their site, hit live listen, and your recorded episode each and every week. You can listen to us whenever you want to on demand on your favorite podcast platforms. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify, and more. Just look for us out there. Give us a subscribe for free. And as we publish new episodes, they'll pop in your podcast feed for you to listen at your leisure. All links to our show are videos. So we put video versions out there on our YouTube channel. It came from GenX. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're out there in all those social media platforms. You can link to those right through our Linktree account. Just look up Linktree, It Came From GenX, and you'll find our Linktree page. Nothing to log into, just simply a platform to all of our social media links. And our website, It Came From GenX, all one word, .wordpress.com. All show information is there on the website, links to the shows, links to the videos, promos, everything is there. So if you go to one place to keep up with us, go to our website. And our Facebook page also has a lot of good stuff there too. Links to our stuff as well on our Facebook page at It Came From Gen X. So if you like our stuff, tell a friend, subscribe, like. If you really like our stuff, consider becoming a Patreon for a small donation or whatever you want to do. Again, you don't have to do that, but if you wish to do that, consider it. can find that information on our website page via a Patreon link. So
Right.
thank
And,
you so much for your support. Go ahead.
You might even want to be a sponsor.
Sure.
And we would love that. And with that being said, tell them about our great sponsor.
Yes, absolutely. So our first official sponsor is RPM Bike Shop. You can find their information on Facebook. Just look up RPM Bike Shop. It's a family-owned business right out of Carrollton, Ohio. Great electric bikes. So they have different sizes, different styles. These are bikes you could ride like a normal bike and use an electric charged boost to get you up
And I
some.
think it's so cool. I didn't
Yeah,
mean to
absolutely.
interrupt you, but I just think
No.
it's so cool that they're a sponsor, and it's such the opposite of a Gen X thing. A bike that's electric. It's so opposite of what we are about, and it is the coolest thing. So I think it fits in great with the show.
Yeah.
It's the dichotomy here, okay? On a bike that you can turn on the electric juice and ride it. And I saw them. They're amazing, amazing devices. So thought that was just kind of cool.
Absolutely. All their information's there. Look them up. Their phone numbers there and everything. Just go to the Facebook page, RPM Bike Shop. Look them up. They'll be happy to give you a quote and arrange a showing of the bikes, I'm sure. You get some photos there on the webpage as well. But yeah, I agree with you. It's like our time growing up. If you wanted to get to somebody, you wanted to see what your friends were doing,
Pedal
as
power,
we know,
baby.
Yeah, you had to go ride your bike over there and check it out. So now, if we only had an electric bike, I had a moped back then for a little while.
I wanted one so bad.
That was the coolest shit at the time, man.
Oh man, I wanted one so bad. Yeah, you were somebody if you had a moped, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Man, my life would have been so different. But hey, listen, when you call them up about RPM, if you tell them that we recommend you, they'll charge you double. So don't mention us.
Yeah, they might, or they they show
they
those
might hang
guys
up the phone on you too. So
you never know. But check them out. Great product, great family business.
All right, now we do the video version of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, so one, people can see my beautiful face.
That's right.
And two, just to see what we're wearing today.
That's right.
Now, I normally let you go first, but I'm going to say this. I was going to wear my birthday present from my buddy here, Brian Fisher. I didn't have it available last week. I had it ready, hanging right here beside me for tonight. And the only reason I'm not wearing it is because our brother Skinner's not here. I'm going to wait for him. Okay. And number two, I had to represent my boys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, pulling it out last night. I think I wet myself. I don't need this kind of pressure, but what a game! What a game! When those two play, I tell you, it's something.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. I don't know that I understood the 2-point call at the end. Although the tight end was open, he just overthrew him. Ravens could have won that game. But that's all right.
I didn't understand it myself when you got the best kicker in football.
Yeah.
And offensively, we obviously couldn't, you had a good chance to drive down the field. But that being said, there's different takes on that. Number one, the call was there. The execution wasn't. Okay.
Yep, that's right.
And then a lot of people said, well, actually, no, give JT Watt or TJ Watt credit. He disrupted that play. But no, you got to blame the offensive coordinator. How do you call a play where you don't block the NFL sack leader?
Mm-hmm.
He's the number one disruptive force in pro football. How do you design a play where you say, let's not block this guy? So that's who screwed that play up, in my opinion. So
Yep. Yeah, they had a chance, but fun game.
Yeah.
Fun
Always
game.
a fun game with those two. So the second one is going to be even better because the Steelers season was on the line yesterday and will continue to be so. But I wanted to just represent and show some love for my team. All right. So, hey, Gustavus, Dominic, my brother at WMBU.org, we love you and we want to say thank you providing opportunities and also just this format of entertainment free radio. And a shout out to my nephew, Michael Skinner Jr., our producer, and we appreciate you so much, my brother. And we dedicate this show to our brother, Mike Skinner, who was out tonight, along with Marcy. We dedicate this show to you, and let's get this thing cooking. All right?
All right.
Boo, boo, world news. Start us off, Fish.
Okay, so we had a pretty significant political icon pass away yesterday. So former Senator Bob Dole passed away with a battle with lung cancer. And he just announced that of course, it seems like he's been battling it for a while, but he just announced he had it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And over the weekend, he passed away in his sleep, 98 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
So if, certainly in our generation, we all know who Bob Dole was. I mean, he ran against Clinton as the Republican nominee back in the 90s.
Right.
He served over 30 years representing Kansas in both chambers of Congress. He was a decorated World War II veteran and Kansas Republican lawmaker who until 2018 held the record as the Senate's longest serving Republican leader, a post he held for nearly 11 years. So a war hero, served our country in many different ways.
And never had a chance.
No. He was known for pushing to make Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a national holiday and passing the Americans with Disabilities Act, and also Megan's Law, which protects children from convicted sex offenders.
He was a patriot.
Yes.
And he did some great things.
Yes,
But
indeed.
he never had a chance in that election. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I think it was around that time, for the first time ever, the younger generation started being involved with the presidential election process. I think Barack Obama brought it to a fever pitch with the brilliancy of his first campaign. He went to the people that made the Xbox games and advertised on the basketball games, on the banners and things like that. Really appealed to a younger crowd. But anyway, I think the Clinton-Dole election was the first time the younger people started getting involved in the presidential election. And with that being said, he couldn't relate. Yeah. And it's a shame because as a patriot, he did some marvelous things. And the Clinton people knew that that's what they had. Here you got the good-looking, brash guy from Arkansas with the reputation of being a ladies' man, and he's cracking jokes, and he's cooking up with all the cool people. And the most brilliant move of Clinton's campaign was going on Arsenio and playing saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
And that just killed Bob Dole. Mm-hmm. And I find it ironic that Bob Dole has passed away a few months, or was it a few months? Maybe not long, right after Norm Macdonald passed away, who made him a pop icon with his portrayal of him. Yeah. So he became, it's so funny. The irony is the reason why he lost the election, he ended up becoming that. And that's a pop icon. And that was through obviously Norm Macdonald's portrayal of him and Bob Dole and the stiffness of him. But rest in peace, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I recall correctly, Bob Dole made an appearance on SNL with Norm Macdonald.
Oh, did he? That's great.
I believe he did. Yeah, that was one thing I heard a lot about on the news today is, Bob Dole had a good sense of humor. I mean, he was definitely...
he did, but his campaign people didn't do their due diligence. They should have realized who they were running against and prepared him for that. Quick little story. When I was at the University of Akron, getting my bachelor's of political science, one of the big things we had for this class that they do every year is they have an election for a whole semester. And it's like a really big deal. You run for president of the United States, vice president, so on and so on. They have the Republicans, the Democrats, and independents. They separate the class, and then those groups nominate who they want to run or represent. I was a Democrat at the time, and the Democrats had nominated me to run. And my only real competition was the Republican guy who was much, much younger than I, some little blonde kid. And we had to make our own commercials. And I thought, man, I worked with ZTV. I'm going to have the best commercials and ads, which I did. They look like real presidential campaign commercials. And we had to get money from his undergrads. We had to come to his undergrad class, give speeches to them, and they had fake money, and we couldn't make a commercial or do an ad unless we showed the actual money to pay for it. So we had to coax his undergrad kids out of their money. And I showed up in my suit, gave a great speech and all that, and showed the videos of me, this, that. This kid shows up, with a t-shirt on or whatever, showed videos of him at frat parties and drinking, just stupid stuff. And I'm like, what a moron. But he was blowing me away in the polls. And I learned I did not relate to these kids. So I got real smart about it. There was two gorgeous girls that were friends of mine. One, Elena from Kazakhstan. She's passed away recently. I had them dressed up real sexy like, and they showed up at that class and talked to all the kids and got the money from them for my campaign instead of me doing it. Secondly, I released videos of me because they didn't know the cool side of me. I showed videos of me playing drums and bands and all this other stuff, and it changed everything. Now, I still got destroyed in the election, but the percentage, it really went up considerably when I could relate. And I think that's what happened with Bob Dole. His people didn't do their due diligence, and he could not relate to the new constituents that were coming up in America. So, all right, great.
Yep. Good point, sir.
All right, you got any more world news for us?
Nah, that's the main world news I got today.
Okay. Well, you want to hit pop culture, or you want me to go?
You go ahead. That's fine.
We all great stuff here. Okay, so let's talk about this day in music. This day, happy birthday to Randy Rhodes. Randy Rhodes, famed guitar player. With Ozzy Osbourne. Of course, a lot of people don't know. Talk about he made his bones with Quiet Riot before that. Before they hit big. Lots of argument came out. Who was Randy Rhodes' real close friend? Was Quiet Riot? Was I? Whatever. Horrible plane crash, just on a whim, flying a single engine plane. Just stupid.
Stupid idiots, man.
Yeah.
Took out an guitar icon that could have done a lot more great things, man.
Oh my gosh, when you listen to what he did, to me, Diary of a Madman, that whole beginning, one of the most brilliant pieces ever put together. So I grew up learning about this guy. He was always considered the greatest, one of the greatest, after a very small body of work. Any comments, Fish?
Yeah, like you say, just great stuff. Those early Ozzy albums he was on, just tremendous. And now it makes me want to go back and listen to. I haven't listened to it in a long time. That live album that Ozzy released with Randy Rhodes as a tribute to him after his passing. That is just that puts you right in the feel of a concert with Randy Rhodes, and just incredible
he was
stuff.
something.
So very, very talented. Real shame. So definitely go back and listen to some of the earlier albums with Ozzy with him. Absolutely.
Now, the thing that I remember after Randy Rhodes, it seemed like it became this competition between Ozzy and Dio. Obviously, because of the Black Sabbath thing, but there was this competition during their solo career and who could find the next big thing, guitar player wise. Obviously, Ozzy pivoted. There was some Brad Gillis stuff in there, who went on with Night Ranger. But the next icon he found was Jakey Lee.
Yep.
And a couple great guys after that. Then there was some really great players with Dio. He started off with Vivian Campbell and he found what's the young kid? I think he was 16 years old. Can't think of his name off the bat. But there was always this big thing of who's going to find the next great guitar player. And I think the whole Randy Rhodes being so young kind of started that whole thing. So,
then when Ozzy got Zakk Wylde, that was a whole other level at the time for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a huge Jakey Lee guy, but Zakk Wylde's a bad boy.
And actually, Ozzy's going to go back on tour, I think, next year, and Zakk is going to rejoin him on tour.
Okay. Yeah, I got to open up for Zakk with the DeMarco Brothers band and hang out with him. And he's a super great guy. So, okay. Also, this day, for our celebrity music desk, Roy Orbison died this day in 1988. I remember hearing about that, and the people I were with brought it up, and I was kind of like, so. And I was shocked to hear what huge Roy Orbison fans they were. These were like rock guys. And when they started talking about why, I started listening to Roy Orbison, and I realized how awesome and cool this guy was. One of the most unique and amazing voices ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you talk about cool. He was the epitome of cool. He was one of the coolest non-rock guys or pop guys that I've ever seen. And I thought I could talk about a few more guys who fit into that category, who were just the epitome of cool on a Roy Orbison level. The first name that comes to me is the Man in Black, Johnny Cash.
Sure.
I've never seen anybody surpass genres, race, or whatever who just epitomize cool. What was so cool about Johnny Cash?
I don't know, just his whole vibe, the whole Man in Black thing. His voice was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
His whole attitude toward, just F the man type stuff. And then when he played a Folsom Prison, that was a whole thing. So I don't know, just the whole, like you say, guys like that are just cool, and they're not even really trying to be cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just
That's a great point, and we're going to revisit that. That's a great point. And the things he did with the prison, whatever, he was in it for the real reasons, man.
Yeah.
I love the guy. He didn't wear black to try to be cool. He wore black because he didn't care about any other color. He didn't want to wear anything else. And also in the way he approached his songs, which were totally unique to this day. His vocal structure. He was just a really, really cool dude. Yeah, another guy too, obviously. Maybe he was trying to be cool, but he really, really was slick. I think that was Frank Sinatra.
Sure.
As far as an old dude. Frank had the voice. Yeah, if you got a voice nowadays, man, you can get over. But Frank had a voice. He had the look. He was like one of the first people to put together a posse, if you will, the Rat Pack.
Yeah, any of those guys, you could say it fits that description.
Every last one of them, absolutely.
I
don't think Sammy Davis Jr. gets enough credit for how talented this guy was.
Sure.
Unbelievable singer, unbelievable dancer, one of the greatest drummers ever. A lot of people don't know that. If you haven't, look up Sammy Davis on the drums. Ridiculous, man. Just an amazing, amazing group. So, rest in peace, Roy Orbison, 1988. Okay, guys, go ahead.
I was just saying his sunglasses too. It just his story was he went somewhere and forgot his regular glasses. And it was as simple as that. And all he had was his prescription sunglasses. So he went out and performed so he could see. And people were just like, why is he wearing the sunglasses? And it just worked for him, and he just did it ever since.
That's awesome.
He just forgot his regular glasses.
That's man, it worked for him too. That's a great story. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This day in music, 1986. The song "The Final Countdown."
Man,
went to number one. I never forget seeing the video on MTV. I'm like, what is this? It had this really cool beginning and spaceships and this, whole end of the world type vibe. It was just pretty amazing. This song is right down the middle. People hate it or love it. I've always enjoyed it. I know it can be campy, and I know it got overplayed, but overplaying just means the song is that popular and that good. People say it's been overplayed. Well, people like it. You want to hear it, so you can't avoid overplaying. That's just part of the nature of the beast. So, it became one of the greatest arena songs of all time.
It sure did.
Burn, burn, burn. But then the keyboard thing starts, and it just hypes people. I know my Pittsburgh Steelers, the third period, they always play the song Renegade because of that amazing beginning by the band Styx, hypes the whole crowd up. Fish, there were some great arena songs in our generation growing up that are still going on today. Just want to talk about a few of those and get your thoughts. Number one, and I know this one is special to us, We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions by the great band Queen. We were in band together. We
Mhm.
dominated a competition together, and that was
Yep.
our song after every competition. Your thoughts on those songs?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know the full story behind it, but I think they must have had the idea of "We Will Rock You" as far as something like more of an anthem, like definitely for certainly a
Well,
stadium performance,
if you watch the
no
movie,
question. Yeah,
and I would like to think that it was accurate, they wanted to get the audience involved. And if you're
yeah,
a musician and you're smart, that's what you want to do, bring them into the song. And so just a simple boom, boom, clap, boom, something
hmm
everybody can latch on to, whether you had any rhythm or not. One,
right.
two, clap. And a simple we will rock you. It was total genius on their part, and it's still working today.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely get you pumped up in the crowd, and like you say, we are the champ. How many sports championship moments at any level has probably played that song? It's you know,
Oh,
countless, I'm sure.
countless. They cemented themselves in sports lore forever by just saying we are the champions. I've heard tons of people come over the years and use songs mentioning champion, and it's a smart move, and some of them are popular songs. But Queen was certainly the first ones to do that, to my knowledge, and it was
Yep,
brilliant.
yep.
Of course, one of the bigger songs, even than that, is "Rock and Roll Part 2" by Gary Glitter.
hmm
I'll never forget the first time I heard this. I haven't heard anything like it. And I don't know what it is about this song, but hey, if it's the crowd participation. But why is this song so popular?
Like you say, it's just another one of those things. It's easy to remember. It's easy to have a whole crowd reaction to.
Yeah,
With with the
everybody
hay
shouting
and stuff
"Hey" at
like
one
that.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
huge song. Let's talk about a little bit more modern songs. More of us who grew up. "Lose Yourself" by Eminem moved into that arena. I think it's because of that builds up anticipation,
hmm
and then when it just starts going, it's just that everybody starts moving their head to it. I think the younger generation really likes that one. And of course, get ready for this. Um, every office convention. I've been to Kirby conventions, sales conventions, and they're playing that song. I was watching the show The Office the other day, and they went to a sales convention. They were playing that song. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of annoying, man. But why is that song so big?
Again, they all have a similar vibe to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just it gets you hyped up. It's easy to participate as a crowd. Um, I would just look it up here from our hometown Akron, Ohio. The Black Keys have that one stain. Shoot, I'm trying to find the name of that there. That da 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 da.
Yeah,
I think
yes.
they do it at the Ohio State games and stuff like that. So it's kind of
Hmm.
cool to have some local
Yeah,
talent
that's cool.
have a modern stadium song as well. So I don't know.
Yeah. Welcome to the Jungles. Moved into
Sure.
the arena, stratus, if you will. Um, I had a few more here. Oh, Thunderstruck, huge one.
Sure.
AC/DC.
Yep.
Yeah, just that guitar part, and then it really gets you going, your head moving once it starts. Panama by Van Halen.
Yep. Howlin'
And
for You is the one key. Sorry, Black Keys. Howlin'
yes,
for You. That's it.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. So, well, congratulations to the band Europe on not just making a hit song, but one that has penetrated the sporting history books forever, and good for them.
Yep.
Okay, so this day in music, I was looking at a little story about my boy Keith Richards here. I thought it was kind of funny. I just imagine him sitting at breakfast reading a newspaper. And it says in 1972, on this day, while reading the morning newspaper in Nice, France, Rolling Stones Keith Richards was surprised to learn in the paper that there were arrest warrants had been issued for him and his girlfriend, Anita Pallenberg, for drug possession. Well, that'll make you spit your orange juice out. It didn't surprise me one bit. I thought about Keith Richards as I was reading that, and I said, "What's the Gen X story here?" And he is the epitome of a rock and roller.
Yeah.
I mean, the constant cigarettes, the girlfriends that could be his granddaughter. I mean, the guy is so wrinkled up; he looks like his skin he's ironed. The blood transfusions, and he's still rocking and rolling. And I thought this dude is the epitome of a rock star. I started thinking about a lot of people today who I think they got the handbook and they're checking off the lines one by one, trying to be a rock star really bad. And I just don't buy them. Some people do. I don't personally don't. Lenny Kravitz, to me, one, I think he plagiarizes a lot of songs, and I think he just tries too hard to be cool. But there are some people who are just the real deal when it comes to being a rock star. And I had a couple down. You can either comment on these guys or name a couple yourself. But the first one that came to mind was David Lee Roth. And I thought he might very well be the greatest front man ever in the history of rock music. Next to you got to give it to Rolling Stones front man,
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger too. But David Lee Roth came to mind. This guy incorporated the martial arts, the sexiness, the brashness, the boldness. He didn't give a crap about nothing. You know, twirling the mic stand like we'd never seen nobody else do it. Split kicks off the drum riser. Being arrested at shows. I thought he was just the epitome of a rock star. Thoughts on David Lee Roth?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the Sammy Hagar Van Halen it's good. There's some good music in there, but to me, Van Halen was with David Lee Roth. Like you say, he was back in that era. When you look at him now, you might be like, geez, if you're not that familiar with him when he was younger, it's like, kind of a goofy older guy, whatever it is. But back in the 70s and early 80s, man, he was, like you say, he was the epitome of cool and rock and roll. Absolutely.
Well, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
When you bite off the head of a dove at a record meeting, you're the real deal. You're the real deal, dude.
Unbelievable. I mean, drugs had a lot to do with all that.
Oh yeah. But you are the real McCoy, man.
He has some of the craziest stories in rock history that
you better
hopefully will never be repeated. But
I'm not going to even repeat them on this show, but look them up, man. The ants and the pea.
The bat.
No, hold on. Let's be honest about the bat story.
They thought it was fake.
Yeah, he thought it was fake. So we'll give him a little pass on that.
But the dove he knew was real.
He brought the dove.
That is pretty incredible.
He brought the dove. Okay. I got another one here, and I can't read my writing. Looks like it starts with an R. Anyway, I'll get back to that one. But also, Jimi Hendrix, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy was just cool. I like Jimmy because Jimmy was his own man. I watched a lot of documentaries from a black person's perspective on Jimi Hendrix. And a lot of black people hated Jimmy because Jimmy didn't take up a cause like they thought he should, or do things that they thought he would do. And I respect anybody who's their own person and don't do things because what people expect you to do, like what people expect you to like. I've been that way my entire life, and I've always related to Jimmy. I mean, the way Jimmy dressed, sometimes with the old, Victorian type clothes and shirts, or the hippie stuff, the headband he made so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy was his own dude, man. What a rock star. Thoughts on Jimmy?
Yeah, like you say, just the guys, like it's like almost he was like a Prince type guy before Prince.
Yeah, great analogy. Yeah.
Just had his, like you say, just any guys that just come up with his own style. There was no damn stylist, I'm sure, back then saying, hey, you should wear this, it looks cool. It's like, no, I like this hat, I like this outfit, I like this look, I'm going with it, that's me. And he definitely took it to a whole other level for sure. So
he did.
And Prince falls in that category too, frankly. So
I was going to
mention
his
own style absolutely as well. So
The only reason I didn't mention him, Prince, was such a given.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very few people, guys, men, that are under 5 foot something that could wear a thong and high heel shoes and eyeliner and take your woman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you
A,
wouldn't even argue about it.
yeah,
probably.
Exactly. Like, go ahead, baby, I'll pick you up.
Well, I guess Prince took my lady up.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I can't wait to go tell all the guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's probably happening.
Gosh,
it'd be great to know that. Yeah. I'm sure
my
happened.
gosh, yes, absolutely. I thought, okay, to be fair, we pick a couple of pop stars that epitomize the pop culture. And one, I have a lot of respect for. I don't listen to his music a lot. I don't like his music. But as far as being a pop star, I think Justin Timberlake is like,
sure.
Man, what a talent. This guy is the epitome of what a pop star is. He has a great sense of humor. He can sing. He can play tons of instruments. He can dance. He's got rhythm. He's got soul. This guy is something else.
Yeah.
And a great actor.
Yeah, I'm with you. Some of the best Saturday Night Live episodes of all time is when he's on there. I think he's definitely up there comedically, and the whole Christmas special.
In a box.
Yeah, that's great. The whole Christmas rapping thing he does is just terrific. Okay.
Yeah. The other one, I think she's more of a rock star too. I just want to say about, I think Debbie Harry was one of the coolest ever, and of course Madonna.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Madonna, but we won't get back into that. But you got to admit, Madonna took over the fashion world as well as her music.
Oh yeah.
Became big in movies. She became much bigger than her music.
Sure.
And I think that is one of the key signs of a true pop star, when you go beyond your music.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Michael Jackson's certainly up there too. He had definitely helped bring on a whole new style of the 80s and everything on his own too. So when you influence,
another one that was a given. Yeah.
You influence a whole way that people dress and all of that. I mean, you're definitely, way up there as far as, your cool factor and being influential and all that type of stuff. I don't know.
I don't think there was anybody like Madonna, except for one person who influenced the way girls dress. There was Pat Benatar.
Sure.
I think she was huge. And if you move outside of music before Madonna, there was people like Dorothy Hamill, the haircut and the look and things like that. So
yeah, but plenty of women our age had a Pat Benatar haircut back in the day. I'm sure.
Yes,
or Dorothy Hamill, to your point.
Yeah. I gave a drum lesson tonight, and I was teaching the lady who's my student how to use word association to figure out rhythm patterns. And there's a famous rhythm pattern called Pat Boone, Debbie Boone. And she had heard of it before prior to me teaching it to her. And, she took to it really well, learned really great. I just stopped. I thought, I got to find some new people for my young students because they're not going to have a clue who Pat Boone and Debbie Boone. I got to come up with some names that they would be able to remember. So I thought that was just kind of funny thinking about that. Like, this is a great lesson. It's all about word association. It's not about Pat Boone or Debbie Boone, but they're not going to relate to that. So
nope. That's good.
Okay, Fish. Now, I got a great story about Gen X term. If we have time, we'll get back to it. But other than that, let's get on with some pop culture, brother.
All right, let's see a couple things here. So we did have, we talked about, the passing of Bob Dole earlier. We had a passing of a pop culture. Maybe he's not an icon per se, but definitely in our age group, we knew who he was. So Eddie Mecca, 69 years of age, passed away recently. Famous for his role as Carmine Ragusa on the sitcom, Laverne and Shirley, the Big Ragu. So on the show, he was Shirley's, I think maybe on again, off again boyfriend.
Yes.
But on the show, super talented, very outgoing, charismatic, sang, danced,
yes.
Total Italian dude. And I think he was pretty much on that series almost the
Yeah, pretty
entire way.
much. Well, let me say
76 to
this.
83. Yeah, go ahead.
Iconic, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't use that word with him.
Right. Yeah,
But
I would say close, but you knew who he was.
part of something that was iconic.
That's true.
That show.
Yes.
Me personally, he was the most annoying character on television. One of the most annoying. Oh my gosh, with the singing, shut up already. He really annoyed. That character annoyed me. But as I'm older, I appreciate him and what he did and being a part of that show. And I think I as I'm older, I realized too what he did for Italian Americans.
Sure.
Or Italian people, period, in that show. So rest in peace, brother.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, looking at this day in pop culture history. Now we're shooting this on Monday, December the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that caught my eye, there was a lot of historical things happened this day. We won't get into all that, but pop culture wise, this evening in 1964, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer debuted on NBC, and then it moved over to CBS in 1972. And I believe it's been on CBS every year ever since. So that's definitely one of those Christmas specials I know as a kid that I watched every single year. I just purchased it this year, actually, with a few other iconic Christmas specials of our generation growing up that were aired in the 60s originally here. But Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, certainly based on the song. They had a whole storyline around it with some interesting characters. The Land of Misfit Toys. You had the dentist. You had the abominable snowman. You had the lumberjack guy and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Keith, was that one of your favorites, or not so much, or what's your take on Rudolph? Or was that something you watched, or what was your take on it?
To this day, watching Rudolph and all their shows about him gives me a very special feeling.
Yeah.
It takes me back to being a child with my sister and my nephews and nieces that I hold on to dearly.
Yeah.
The anticipation of Christmas, finding out what it meant to be family, us sitting there together, watching that stuff, eating popcorn, and the characters on those shows were, some of the greatest characters to this day. Who doesn't know? Well, not necessarily been Rudolph, but Heat Miser and all those others. But even with Rudolph and Herbie that wanted to be a dentist,
Herbie,
Yukon Cornelius.
That's it. Yukon Cornelius.
I mean, those nothing.
That's right.
Some of the greatest characters that you just can't forget. I love those characters. Me being a devout Christian, there was always inference to Christ being born. Some people thought that Rudolph was a distraction to what the real meaning of Christmas was about to them. But I thought it tied in great with that. It was something to get the kids focused. I thought it could have done a lot better with that, but at least it gave a message about being different.
Yeah.
But being able to be worth something. You got to respect that. That's a lesson that lasts to this day. People laugh at you when you're different, but you know what? There's use for you, and when people need you, they seem to look past your differences and celebrate you. So just be who you are. Don't ever be ashamed of who you are. Don't ever try to cover up who you are. And that message still rings true today.
Yeah, that part's good. Well, Rudolph's dad was a real jerk.
Yeah, he was a real jerk.
Real a-hole on that show. Santa saw the specialness in Rudolph there. But yeah, you're right. All those messages are very, very true.
Yeah, and if I was Rudolph, I'd been like, punk, I just beat y'all's butt in all the competitions. Yep. What you laughing at,
Yep. Herbie became the dentist. Yukon Cornelius. It was all a happy ending.
And what was Rudolph's girl's name?
Shoot. I don't remember, but I picture I have ornament of them or something. Yeah. Yeah.
You know who she reminds me of? Jenny on Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now you
that's
want
right.
him. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay, another couple of Christmassy things that caught my eye here in it's Airbnb is renting out a couple iconic Christmassy themed locations across the country here. And this was just announced. I saw the Home Alone house, so the actual McAllister house that was used in the movie. Airbnb announced Wednesday last week it's renting out the iconic home from the 1990 film for one night only. I can imagine the bidding or whatever it was, or not bidding, but just the rush to try to get this
Sure.
for $25. So starting on
Amazing.
December the 7th. So those who secure the stay at the home will be able to spend time there on December the 12th. So coming up here at the end of this week, Sunday. Guests will be welcomed by actor Devin Rattray, who played Kevin McAllister's older brother Buzz. And there's activities. You can set up like traps for people trying to break in and stuff. You can do that. And then they're gonna show the newest Home Alone film, Home Sweet Home Alone. They're going to play that there as well. I think that's going to be on Disney Plus or Netflix or something like that. By the way, so that was pretty cool. And also somebody made a Grinch rental out in Utah. So they made like a replica of the Grinch's lair. Also an Airbnb that you can get into for fairly cheap. So I think it's more of it's definitely a publicity stunt for Airbnb because these locations are definitely making the news. But two iconic Christmassy themed locations where you could go and stay. So just thought that was pretty cool. And if you could stay at one of these two locations or maybe another Christmassy location like that, would you have a preference between these two, or would you pick a different one if you could stay?
Well, first of all,
like
I want to say, man, I'm all for making things affordable to the people, but it sounds like $25 is just going to cause a lot of problems. I don't understand how that's going to work.
It must just be maybe first come, first serve or something like that. I don't know, but it's
and you know how well
sweet.
we do in America with that. I was thinking about this in pre-production show here, and I was really thinking about places I wouldn't mind like staying to absorb it, places we watched on TV or in movies to be a part of it. It might necessarily be a Christmas theme to it.
Sure. Okay.
But I would love to be able to hang out in the Mayberry jail.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Sleep in there like Otis.
I would just love that. Spend a whole day there, sweep up, answer the phones, go in the jail cell, lock myself in, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And I would love to be in Fred Sanford's junkyard.
That would be cool to see. Yep.
Have Fred, make some breakfast in the kitchen. I think that would be very, very cool. Those are two places that come to my mind.
Yeah, hang out with Fred and have him make fun of you and all that type of stuff, and just the whole experience. Is that what it means? Like the whole experience, or are you just talking about the set? Like
obviously Fred's not there, but the set.
The set, okay.
Be on the set and just kind of hang out.
Yeah.
Actually live the experience. And of course, my number one place, without question, put me on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
I would probably lose my mind. The older next generation, I don't care. That would be the ultimate for me.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Definitely next generation, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff there. Stuff there. Okay, let me think about a couple here. How about the the McAllister house would be incredible. I think that would be fun. Either one of those locations will be fun anyway. The Grinch or this would be fun. I remember thinking as a kid, it's like there's memes of this out there too, but it's like what do these people do for a living? To where you could have a house that big and have all those kids and travel to France. That must have been a millionaire.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. But places that I could think of, like the Brady house would be cool.
Oh, yeah. Who didn't love the Brady house?
60s and all that. That would, interesting location. Go ahead.
When I was young, my mom worked for a house that was close to that. And I would just lose myself there, man.
Yeah.
I used to be so jealous of the son that they had there and the things that he had. But it was, Brady House is a great choice.
Yep. The Three's Company apartment.
Oh my, yeah.
Exactly as is. The whole 1000% 70s look.
That would be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun. How about going on a cruise on the Love Boat?
That'd be fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh
Or
yeah.
riding around in the General Lee through Hazard County.
Sure.
That would
Yeah.
be fun too. Good old stuff, man.
Yep, absolutely. And then how about the Buck Rogers apartment on Buck Rogers in the 25th century, like the whole futuristic
Yeah, I don't
apartment,
remember that too
but
much,
just
but
with the house plants and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Wait, twiggy.
We can go on and on with that stuff.
Yeah,
there,
we
but
could. It was great stuff.
Yeah. All right, pretty cool. Sorry, get back to my notes here.
That's all right. That was good.
Okay. A couple things coming up here that caught my eye. That's be pretty pretty stoked is coming up in December. So it's going to be at select theaters December the 10th, on Amazon Prime Video on December 21st. Being the Ricardos. So it's a new movie about the story of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Nicole Kidman plays Lucille Ball, and Desi is played by Javier Bardem.
Okay.
It's kind of a serious take on their relationship and making the show and all that stuff. But some big names in this, and at first I thought I can't really picture Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball, but when I saw this most recent trailer, go check it out.
Okay.
I know it's got me interested in the whole story.
Yeah.
So the complexity of the relationship, and then Lucille Ball's story in general is pretty amazing. I mean, she had a fight to get this show on the air, and she was definitely influential on other shows back then. But check this out: Being the Ricardos.
Okay, I'd be interested to see that. And I'm going to say this, so don't reach to the screen and slap me. But Lucille Ball is one of those people to me that, in her field, I hold her in the highest esteem. I recognize the greatness. Just wasn't a fan.
Okay, that's fine.
Just wasn't a big fan. The show, I did watch the show for a while when I was younger. Sometimes she just kind of annoyed me a little bit. As I got older, I really appreciated, her being the first to do so many things, and the way she did it, and the way she gave herself to her comedy, and I respect all that, but just wasn't a big fan.
Okay. I think actually I read she was influential in getting Star Trek on the air, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? That'd be interesting to read about.
Yeah. Okay, I caught this today as well. So new trailer come out for Don't Look Up, also in select theaters December 10th, and on Netflix December 24th. So Adam McKay has skewered the global financial meltdown. Let's see here. So Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio star in this thing. They play astronomers who try to sound the alarm about a comet approaching the Earth. And the staggering supporting cast includes Meryl Streep as the president, Jonah Hill, Timothy Chalamet, and Kate Blanchett. So it's like a dark comedy, it looks like today. So they're trying to get people to understand there's a comet coming in this world of talk shows and everything else, and people aren't taking them seriously, and they're trying to get the story out there. It looked pretty amazing. So
you had me till you said comedy. I was like, man, this would be great drama.
It looks like a dark comedy, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Don't Look Up.
For that.
And then finally coming up in December. Well, we know Spider-Man's coming out. We talked about that a few times. No Way Home looks absolutely incrable. A week from Friday.
Trust me, I know the people who are producing this movie. The trailers are as incredible as they look. They are holding back so much. That's going to be.
Oh yeah.
I've been reading up on it. There's so much involved in this. The addition of characters from the other Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire series. Man, this is going to be something. Multiple universes colliding.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Looks terrific.
Yeah.
And it looks like they took the story from in the comics, actually. So in the comic book series Civil War, which you have not read that, go check that out there. So that's what loosely the Civil War movie was loosely
I keep
based
hearing
on.
that, and I'm confused. It must be a new Civil War series. See, I collected back in the day, and I have the 7-book series, Civil Wars. It was Marvel Civil Wars, and in that series, it was about there was a presence in Central Park that alerted all the superheroes in New York. Spider-Man sensed it. He showed up. The Avengers, their alarm went off. They showed up. The Fantastic Four showed up. I mean, everybody showed up. Every superhero in Marvel Universe showed up. And when they all got there, they all disappeared. Central Park disappeared.
You know what you're thinking of? Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
One of the best all time.
Oh, gosh. Make that a movie.
Yeah. Well, they keep talking about maybe doing something with that, but that's where Spider-Man got the black suit that became Venom on that. It was a whole thing.
That's what I'm thinking. Secret War.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
That's okay. But the Civil War in the comic series it was sort of based on the Captain America Civil War movie, the third Captain America, where the government wanted the heroes to unmask if they wanted to continue. And register. And in the comic series, Peter Parker stepped up and unmasked himself as Spider-Man, which drastically changed his life. And they ran with that for a while in the comics. And Spider-Man's life was threatened all the time. And I think the writers had to step back and say, is this what we're going to do with Spider-Man for the rest of our lives? So they wanted to go back and reset that. So they came up with the same storyline.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
Well, Peter Parker went to see Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange in the comics did cast the spell that made everybody forget that he was Peter Parker, and it worked out fine in the comics. But obviously, they took that storyline and twisted it for the upcoming movie here, and it didn't go quite as well. But yeah, it looks very great. Good. And finally, Matrix Resurrections comes out in December, so it's the 4th in the Matrix series with Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are back. It's going to be in theaters and on HBO Max on a great day in human history, December 22nd.
Your birthday.
That's right.
One day after I think it was one day after our buddy Mike Skinner's birthday.
This is the 19th.
19th.
19th, yeah, a couple days afterwards, yeah.
So a day that shall live in infamy.
That's right.
The day the sun stood still.
I don't know if I'm that excited about the Matrix Resurrection. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves at almost anything. I'm so glad you said
that.
But I'm like, is it necessary?
What, Skinner? I'm so glad you said that. I'm going to tell you why. And see if you're like what I'm thinking. I don't want to see old hat.
Yeah.
You had 3 movies. If you give us old hat again, I hate to see it. When The Matrix came out, it was revolutionary.
Yes.
We had never seen the fight scene and all that stuff, and everybody's copied it ever since. So unless you're going to come out with something new that we've never seen, just don't do it. If they come out with old hat, I'm going to be really disappointed.
I think the premise is that I just Neil Patrick Harris is in it, but I think it's something along the lines where Morbius is he's not sure if. Morpheus. I said Morbius. I'm looking at Morbius as another movie. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Morpheus, I don't know if he's starting to question did this really happen or not. I think there's something along that line.
Yeah, I'm really holding back. I got reservations about this. I hope it's great, and I hope it gives us something. There's certain movies right now, if you can't keep coming up with something new because what you did changed everything, then don't bother. I am really skittish about the new Avatar. But they claim that we're going to see something we've never seen before. So I don't want to see that. And I think it's going to have to do with in water, but that's what they say. So we'll see.
Even the first one wasn't that great, to be honest.
Really? I thought it was phenomenal.
The effects were good. 3D was spectacular. But I'm like,
in 3D. I thought
is
that movie was
is the story any good? I'm like, I don't. What's this? I don't know. What to do.
really.
The effects are
I dug
great.
it.
I don't know. That's just me. All right. Well, I think we're gonna have to get back to you. I like your topic of the Gen X terms.
Oh,
We
that'll
don't wanna
wait. It'll
through
keep.
it. Yeah.
Put it in the oven. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's save that for another time here because we are right at about the top of the hour, my friend, my brother.
All right. Well,
So-
home, brother.
Yep. So we thank you for tuning in for another episode of It Came From Gen X. New episodes post every week, again, on your favorite podcast platforms, on WMVU.org, and on video on our YouTube channel. So check us out there. Again, just find us very easily on our Linktree account, Linktree, It Came From Gen X, or our website, CameFromGenX.wordpress.com. If you want to hear us talk about some stuff, you want to comment on the show, you want to tell us we're terrible, you want to tell us we're decent,
Where I can get a good colonic.
we're going to go to colonic. He hasn't found one yet in the Northeast Ohio area. Email the show at camefromgenx330@gmail.com. Comment on our Facebook page. Comment on our website. Love to hear from you out there. Love to hear from our German friend or friends out there as well.
For sure.
So appreciate your support and look for another episode next week. Stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy, Gen X.
Skinner and Marcy, love you. See you soon. Take care, everybody.
Get well.